Hello and welcome back to another Primetime Devo. My name is Duane Matz. We continue to go through the book of 1 Timothy verse by verse, and today we're going to talk about Timmy's tummy, or the proper use of alcohol. We read from 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 23. No longer drink only water, but use a little wine for your stomach's sake and your frequent infirmities. That's Paul's medical advice to Timothy from 1 Timothy 5:23. At this juncture of the letter, Paul gets very personal here with Timothy. Timmy's tummy was evidently acting up, and Paul was concerned by the frequency of the incidents, and so he passes on some good medical advice. Drink a little wine, Timothy, for medicinal purposes. Now, the first thing that I find interesting about this passage is Paul doesn't say anything about the laying on of hands in order to pray for a miraculous healing of this stomach ailment. Not to say that, they didn't do that, but this advice from Paul should tell us that, it's okay to seek relief of our maladies through medicine. Next, we ought to notice that this wine was to be used in moderation. Use a little wine for your stomach's sake, he said. A little wine in the stomach might settle things down a bit, especially since the water of Timothy's day was not always potable. Now, let's talk a little bit about the biblical use of wine. Wine was a major part of the Passover meal. It was typically used 4 or 5 times during the ceremony. But it was watered down wine. It was typically diluted with 3 parts water to 1 part wine. Anything less, by biblical standards, was considered strong drink. With this diluted mixture of water and wine and the 4 or 5 cups that were part of the Passover ceremony, there was no chance of getting tipsy. By the way, this explains Jesus turning the water into wine at the wedding of Cana. He was not putting his stamp of approval on getting blasted. You can be sure he did not make strong drink, but he made good drink, one that was exceptionally tasty even with the watered down mixture. Now, we could all learn from this in our alcohol crazy society. Stay away from strong drink. Everything in moderation, a little, as Paul advised Timothy. Proverbs 20 verse 1 says this: wine is a mocker, strong drink is a brawler, and whoever is led astray by it is not wise. Well, that's all the time we have for today. God bless you. Thank you much for listening. Remember, Jesus loves you. Tell your face about it.